Stop.
Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, your producers, David Bonilla, Jabron Hernandez. We are here to make sure that your real estate business is growing right alongside with ours here in Houston, Texas. Thank you again for joining us. We're on every Tuesday from 1:30 p.m., every Tuesday and Thursday, 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. And we love to hear from you during the show. All of your questions, comments, concerns, angry faces, happy faces, send them on over. We want to see them. We want to hear them. And we are checking throughout the show for anything that you want to say to us to create more engaging content. Oh, by the way, don't forget to share this with all of your friends, clients, anyone out there who wants to learn more about Houston real estate. Now, before we get started with today's amazing show, as always, I want to say it's good to be back.
Yeah, you haven't been back for a while. Did a couple episodes there without you.
I've missed
We were
going to
play that song. Well, it's been a while. But Brandon said it was
I was hoping
it'd
it'd be like, welcome back, but you know, I'll take anything that you guys want to play. Anyway, it's been a little bit. I've missed two shows. It's not that big a deal because I was in bed and struggling with this flu thing that's kind of going around. Meanwhile, moving. And man, it is a bear to move. I don't know if you guys have moved recently. Have you moved recently? Have you done like actually packing things up and moved all? BB,
yeah, but see, I don't feel like I have as much shit as you do.
No, you definitely don't. I didn't realize. You know, I know you guys make fun of me for hoarding sometimes, and I know that I I am not a hoarder and that it's not true. But I will say I will say I have an abundant amount of
there
things.
better be a huge butt.
I will say I have an abundant amount of things, and the movers, while they were moving my house,
you kept hearing the whisper, hoarders.
He goes, there's a lot more things in this house than could physically fit there. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? He's like, usually we do it in 1.5 trucks. This is going to be at least 2.5 trucks. So
you're a hoarder.
Do you know who else has an abundant amount of things?
Who else?
Hoarders.
So in the midst of me moving, there is a contractor crew across the street, and they're putting on new pavement.
And did they all walk out to see how much stuff was coming out of your house?
And they're like staring as all my stuff is being put into this big giant truck. And
what's up, bro? Did you get rid of some of that stuff?
The owner of the place or of the company comes over and he's like, hey, I happen to buy houses cash. Would you like to sell me yours as is?
Yeah. What did you say?
And then that's when it kind of clicked. I was like, maybe I'm a hoarder, and he really thinks I need to sell my house as is.
Oh, finally, like the denial. No. Step one, denial.
Not at all. But I will tell you, the hardest part of all this isn't even like packing it all up and moving it to a new place.
Selling it all, right?
I did sell a ton of stuff.
Because of the emotional connection to all that stuff.
I sold a ton of stuff, and I threw away even more stuff. So the way I did it is I put it all in the front lawn, anything that I was going to sell, and I just put up a little sign, and people would come to my front lawn. I put it all online. People would come to the front lawn, and in the instructions it said, pay me through PayPal, Venmo, or just drop the cash in the envelope in the mailbox. And people would come in and literally do that. If they had cash, they'd do that, or they'd Venmo me, or they just like flat out stole whatever they wanted. And
how much shit got stolen?
No, actually nothing got stolen. It was I still have.
Well, why would you even mention that?
In front of
why would you say that they stole things?
Well, no. I'm saying if they wanted to steal something, they could have.
Gotcha.
Okay. But what was surprising is, well, then again, I do have a camera.
So what
right
you
in
did
front.
is like a self-monitored garage sale.
It was amazing. It was the best thing ever.
Self-checkout garage sale.
Self-checkout.
I think you might be onto something.
You might be onto something.
I literally just put it in the front lawn,
sale.
and people just stopped by. I put it all on like offer up,
and they all had stickers on them.
They all had a little sticker that said, "This is what we're asking. Pay what you think is fair." And people would just send me their payment and take the item. And dude, I got rid of.
I gotta say,
so
I'm impressed
many
with
things.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I didn't.
The point of that rant wasn't to tell you guys about how I got rid of all my hoard. It was about how difficult. It's
finally,
been.
See, slowly, little by little, it
was about how difficult it has been to move to this new house.
Yeah.
Which now the entire house is filled up with boxes, and even though it is a much larger house, I still don't know where to put everything. So
Oh my God, dude. You know they have people that are like home organizers and stuff, right?
yeah, I need to hire one of those. My cleaning lady is not really good at this whole thing. She just comes over.
No, your cleaning lady is not really good.
She just comes over and makes a mess.
Leo Aguirre say, what? The WPR CEO's a hoarder?
Gotcha.
Got him.
That's the joke around here because I don't like to throw the things in the office away that we could use later because those things are investments.
It's funny because anytime you're gone,
they have value.
Intrinsic sentimental value.
anytime Alan's gone for a long period of time, me and BB round up the troops and we're like, all right, Alan's gone. Hurry, throw away everything you can.
When Alan's about to go on a training, we're always like, all right, everyone, we got to throw away as much shit as possible.
If you are watching this show, do not believe anything
That's
that you
exactly
hear
what
right
happens.
now from these two guys. That is not true at all. The point of this, moving is hard. It's been incredibly difficult, and I am getting a chance to see it from the other end right now.
Yeah.
It's been about 7 years.
It's so weird, though, because we help a lot of people buy and sell.
It's been about 7 years since I've done it, and I can really understand, and I feel like I'm going to be able to provide a better service.
Zariah says sell it for Bitcoin.
Hey, I'll trade you for some deed coin.
We have to take a quick commercial break. We are going to have such a great show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're on the Realty Ruckus. Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicket@Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555. Or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com. Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is a place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube. We are having some technical issues right now, apparently. We're going to get the internet back up and going here.
Well, while that's happening, can I defend myself on all the crap
go
that you
for
guys
it, man.
just totally mentioned?
Defend it.
I want to defend myself. Actually, I have no defense. I will take all the defense back, but I do want to share something that happened as I was moving because as I'm going through all of this, it's so difficult and so hard that my wife and I both end up, catching the flu or just like flat out getting sick, right? Because we're staying up till like 3, 4 in the morning packing and getting everything prepared and going all that. Yeah. And in the midst of all that, I have a weekly call with all of the sellers that we're helping right now. So I get a chance to speak to one of my current clients, and I get a chance to just talk to him about how I've been moving and going through the process of moving here recently and how that's affected me. And he starts telling me about how he's been going through that for literally, the last, I don't know how many months it's been now, 6 months, 7 months?
Yeah, since Harvey?
Since Harvey.
Yeah.
And I know that things were really, really difficult on all of the Harvey victims that were affected here in Houston, but it was it was even more eye-opening when I was talking to him to realize they are still, like, all the Harvey victims are still going through that emotional process, through that cycle of having to have moved out essentially forcefully because their house is flooded, they have absolutely nothing, and then the psychological impact behind that, which is what he and I were discussing, because I was telling him, my kids, I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and he has young teenagers, and I was telling them about how my kids were so impacted psychologically because of having to move, having to leave their home. And he was like, man, it's even more multiplied when they're older, because now they have to potentially go to a different school.
Oh, wow.
Now they don't have anything. I mean, we're having to start from scratch. And this is someone who is, I would say, relatively well off. And it was just eye-opening to hear that, to really kind of piece all that together as I was going through it, but and knowing that he had gone through it in the totally different scale, different level of it.
Well, it's crazy, man, because if you go out to areas like Ponderosa Forest, it's still a ghost town out there. Mm-hmm. Half of the houses are vacant. And you're talking about, where did all these people go? Where are they staying right now? Are they staying with friends? Are they in hotels? Or did they go rent apartments? Or I've even heard of some of those people that the house looks vacant, but they're living upstairs. Well, they've got nothing like downstairs.
This family tried living upstairs, but at some point it just becomes so overwhelming to walk into a house that's just wood. The downstairs is literally just wood. That's all there is, nothing else. Just framing. I guess maybe it just becomes overwhelming and maybe even depressing. So in this case, they end up moving into a house with a friend.
So it looks like, David, thank you. He got our internet connectivity issues corrected here. So we can jump back into what we were talking about. I see now we're back green again. We were yellow and red during the break. So we're green. So we're good to go.
If you experience some of those technical difficulties.
I don't know if anyone heard what you and I were just talking about, but if you did hear it, that's great. If you didn't, then we're going to go ahead and jump into our original topic from the show here. And we want to start off with Zillow actually getting dumped by somebody.
Yo, when was the last time that you guys actually got dumped? It's been a while. I've been married for a while now, but I can remember like being dumped in college and really feeling it, like really catching feelings over it. Maybe even going to a bar and having a few shots.
Just a few.
Yeah, and then like you're running around in your car or whatever, and you hear that song or like a couple of songs, or basically every love song gets to you, and you're
every song's typically about love.
Every song is typically about love or getting dumped, and then you catch yourself kind of crying in the corner here and there. I feel like maybe this is what's happening with Zillow right now. Did they actually just get totally dumped?
So here's what happened. So Zillow thought they'd go around and they'd sneak around on the side and get themselves a little something on their own without OfferPad. And OfferPad, who they signed that agreement with. So if you remember, back when Zillow started doing instant offers, they had 2 hedge funds that they were working with. One of them was OfferPad.
Yeah.
And they had an agreement. And their agreement ends this year. Now, Zillow didn't tell OfferPad anything.
Nothing.
They were like, oh, sneaky. Guess what? We're going to start buying houses. And OfferPad's like, wait a minute. That's exactly what we do. What do you mean you're not going to use us anymore? And they were just floored by it. And they're like, well, F this. We don't want to work with you anymore. We're removing all of our data feeds from you. We're taking away all of our data. We're going to quit giving you all the information that you need to run your platform. And we're gone. We're running for the hills. Dumping Zillow completely.
Does Zillow think that maybe they can just replicate that without them, or what's
that's exactly what they're trying to do. But it does say that Zillow did inform them of the change a few hours before the news was announced.
That's like you're already about to like start dating a new girl, and you're like, oh, by the way, I should probably let you know I'm about to change my Facebook status here in about an hour.
Here in about an hour, I'm going on a date with this new person.
Yeah, right?
or even worse, maybe you just like send the old one a text real quick. Hey, sorry, it's not going to work out. It's not you, it's me.
Oh, and listen to this. It says, so OfferPad officially announced that their partnership with Zillow had ended. And then it said in a statement to Inman, it said, as of April 12th, 2018, OfferPad has elected to no longer participate or partner with Zillow. And here's the little slap in the face they give them. OfferPad anticipates little to no impact on the business since ending the partnership. Less than 1% of OfferPad's overall volume came directly from Zillow.
Ooh.
Dang.
That's like a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thing, though. This is what I want to jump into.
What was OfferPad saying, though, there? What were they really saying?
OfferPad was saying you
This
were
shit doesn't
worthless.
work.
Your platform was worthless.
Exactly.
And here's crazy, though. OfferPad is built to buy houses.
Yeah.
OfferPad is set up with the contractors in place, the property management in place. They won the 2017 Tech Company of the Year in Real Estate Award. I mean, they are a legit home buying company.
Yeah.
And they're getting bigger and bigger. If they're saying that less than 1% of their volume came from the Zillow Instant Offer program, and they were only one of 2 competitors on there, what does that tell you about how many houses Zillow is actually going to buy?
Well,
they have a long stretch of road ahead of them. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the agents that go out there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, and they're like, if I cannot sell it, I'll buy it. Like, have you ever seen that advertisement?
Yeah,
it's a very
course.
popular
Guaranteed
advertisement
sell.
amongst sellers.
I love it because you remember when like Trump couldn't get an attorney and he was like, I swear all the attorneys want me, and no one wanted to be his attorney. Well, they came out and they were like, we value our investor partners. This is Zillow. We value our investor partners and continue to work with the vast majority. We also have a waiting list of investors who are excited about participating in the program in the near future. You know what that tells me? We have no one else on the sideline.
That says our investors are freaking out, and we got to somehow give them some comfort because now we just lost a really, really big partnership.
Yes.
And we haven't been making money, and now we have to find a way to kind of make this news a little softer on them.
And OfferPad's already operating in Atlanta, Charlotte, Vegas, Los Angeles, Orlando, Phoenix.
Oh yeah, and
Utah.
they're
about to come
coming
to
to Dallas and then Houston. I mean, this is a really fast-growing big company. They're doing exactly what Zillow said that they wanted to do, and they have the infrastructure in place. And I think the name of the game here and the rule that you want to focus on: never burn a bridge.
No.
Because Zillow, whether they let OfferPad buy the houses or not, they could have done this the right way and said, you know what, OfferPad, we're getting ready to start buying some. We can't continue to sell them to you because we want to buy them, but
they were still going to do. They were still having those investors on. It was Zillow and Open Door and who was the other one?
OfferPad. It was only those 3. Yeah,
sorry.
Open Door's the other one. Yeah. But by them doing this, they just burned a huge bridge to somebody who's doing what they want to do, somebody who's got the infrastructure, they've got the contractors, they've got the property management, they've got the system down. They're going through $2 billion a year in real estate. That's a huge, tremendous number. And now they burn that bridge completely.
Well, OfferPad dumped them, but Open Door wasn't too happy with them either. And actually, their founder spent the day tweeting snide remarks about Zillow. And one of the better ones was, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Oh, that's a stab in the heart right there. I don't know what's going on over at Zillow. I don't know. Their Q1 earnings must have been shit because they haven't released them yet, but they must be really, really bad. And investors are freaking out and they're trying to do whatever they can to look like a legit company. But golly, don't burn your bridges along the way.
Let's look at what's happening. Let's look at the whole overall, looking at it from a business owner perspective. So this company went out, burned a bridge thinking this was going to be profitable for them. But when you do something like that in business, it's usually because you're in a really tight place. You're
stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you have to go one way or the other.
When you make a decision like this as a company, it shows that something's not quite right. They're having to pivot. They're having to create something or do something else because whatever they're doing right now isn't likely working.
Well, and I didn't know this, but apparently China has a similar version of Zillow, and they tried out the same thing and then proceeded to lose 75% of their market cap, which is another one of those snide tweets sent out by the Open Door founders. So history's not on their side either here.
So that's the thing. So this is a company that goes out and creates leads that sells them back to agents, right?
Yeah, and Leo Aguirre, he asked, well, where do we think Zillow is going after this? And that's what you were getting into right now is they're a company that goes out and sells leads.
Yeah,
that's one business model.
That's the thing is that is their business model. Mm-hmm. So now if they turn around and they make a full pivot and say, well, now my business model is going to be to buy houses. Think about the learning curve that they're going to have to go through at the level that they're playing at to really be efficient and really do this correctly.
Yeah, all those resources they'll have to allocate to getting good at this, when instead they could get even better at what is actually, they actually made a small profit. Why not continue on to that?
Well, and the truth behind everything that Zillow is doing is that it's always been looked at as kind of like an evil in the field. It's one of those things that most agents feel like they can't live with or without. If you are an agent that is codependent on Zillow leads, you feel like you have to have them. If you're a company like ours who feels like there are just better resources, there's just better places or better companies with better ethics at play, and the truth is, there's a lot of us. There's a lot of people out there who just flat out don't like Zillow because of the things that they do. And this is just one of the items that gets added to that list, And like you're seeing here with their partners, it's the straw that broke the camel's back.
And going back to what David said, yes, they did break a profit, but the profit was really small.
Yeah, small.
And I think that's what freaked investors out is, oh my God, we made a profit, but the long-term growth, we've already gotten almost every agent on board that we can. Maybe we can grow a little bit on the agents.
And they already dominate the traffic for
exactly.
Any other
They're already
real estate
number
side.
one in real estate internet traffic. So I think
where else can
investors
you
are
go?
going, wait a minute, for us to actually make any money on everything we've burned over the last few years, we're going to need huge profits. You guys better start buying some houses.
The fact that they're saying we have a huge list of investors ready to invest with us tells me that they are terribly scared, and their investors should be even more terrified. We have to take a quick commercial break, but when we get back, we'll continue our discussion and also get into some of the events that you guys must put on your calendars for this week. Stay tuned.
We'll talk about Wells Fargo, the other people.
Oh,
we'll
get a little.
They're like on a 2-year downturn. I feel really bad. We're on the other side of the break. This is a Realty Ruckus.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555. Or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com.
Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is a place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we just talked about Zillow, one of the big giant corporate giants getting dumped. And that was one of my predictions at the beginning of the new year, is that these companies are going to have to either put up or they're going to start losing money and they're going to be out of the market.
We need to go back and figure out which one we made the BB Dama's predictions.
Yeah, well,
I think it's in the title.
I predicted Tesla, and right now they're in a tailspin. I predicted Zillow truly would have to put up or either start dealing with being a company that doesn't make money.
I remember we talked about why we didn't work with Zillow, and we make some predictions. I remember you saying that something like this would happen, and look at what's happening right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so I want to jump into a company, though, that I did not predict, but Jesus, have they had a last 2 years just out of misery. And that company is none other than Wells Fargo. Now, lots of you probably bank with them. So I'm going to take you all the way back, and I'm going to bring you up to date on every scandal that's happened to Wells Fargo.
Fargo.
Number one, y'all remember in 2016, Wells Fargo got fined $185 million for creating 5,300 fake accounts.
Yeah.
They were just creating fake accounts all over the
Their
place.
tellers were being incentivized to create them.
So then, in September 27th, the CEO has to give up his salary, including a $41 million bonus, and after he testifies to Congress, and Congress is like, you are a dirty slime ball. Remember that. So jumping ahead from that, they had to pay another $24 million fine because they repossessed 413 cars from actual service members while they were fighting overseas, repossessed their vehicles, which is against the law.
Wow.
So they had to pay a fine for that. Then they had the unrealistic sales goals where they were telling people that they were essentially running a criminal enterprise because of all the fake accounts. Now, going to 2017, all of that led up to 2 million fake accounts being exposed.
You're missing quite a few in there.
Yeah,
too.
I
There's a
had
lot.
to jump a lot. I had to jump a whole lot. Let's jump up to the most recent one, because in between that, there's another couple $100 million worth of fines.
We have to post this list because it's literally one thing after the other.
It's a depressing list if you're Wells Fargo.
I mean, it's incredible what they are going through.
So after they found the 2 million fake accounts, this year they discovered another 2017, another 1.4 million fake accounts to total out 3.5 million fake accounts that Wells Fargo had. Now, let's jump into the most recent one. So Wells Fargo was recently fined not 100 million, not 200 million. They were actually fined over $1 billion, $1 billion.
Yeah, but don't feel too bad for them because their quarterly profits were above $5 billion. Quarterly.
Jesus.
Quarterly.
So
Yes.
they had to give up 20% of their quarterly profit. That's it?
That's it.
That is.
Well, look, you just rattled off a partial list from that very long list, and then it's a ton of fines. And so what I'm getting from that list is fines don't fucking work for these big banks.
No, man. Why?
don't
They're
care.
still making a fortune. They're still making a killing. You know what needs to happen? Those people at the top need to be arrested because this is fraud. You're defrauding people. 570,000 customers of Wells Fargo who have a bank loan, auto loan, were forcibly charged for the insurance on that vehicle, even though they carried their own insurance. That's just straight fraud. It's a crime.
And can you imagine being one of those people and calling the bank and being like, hey, you guys made a mistake. This isn't right. I mean, the reason why they're being fined is because those people called and still didn't receive any help. They still were charged. They still were told they were wrong, and the bank just kind of did what they wanted to do. This is a great example of someone who is too big to fail, and unless the government steps in and really makes some major changes, I mean, there's really nothing we can do. Now, the other thing that happens is on the other end. I see it from the perspective of when representatives from this bank approach us and say, how come you guys don't send us loan? How come we don't work together?
Because we don't want our customers getting scammed.
Why is it that my loan officers can't come to your office and try to get some business? And it's like, dude, your reputation is horrible. Like, does anybody really want to work with you, or are you really trying to make changes? Because every time I pull up the news, here's what I see.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
it's not good at all. So I didn't know this, but apparently the Federal Reserve had to hand down a punishment on Wells Fargo saying if you don't clean up your act, you're not going to allow to grow your assets beyond what you had at the end of last year, which was $2 trillion in assets. It's what I would say.
Oh, no, I can't grow
Oh,
it.
no, I can't get more than $2 trillion? Oh, no.
It's too big to
That's
fail.
just
No,
insane.
you're completely right. This type of behavior is not going to stop until these top bank executives get arrested. In other countries where
Absolutely.
the banking, after the financial crisis, the countries that took steps to actually arrest these banking executives, guess what? No more problems through the banks. So
Yeah.
these fines are a slap on the wrist. Come on, They got $2 trillion in assets.
Okay, if you guys get a chance, actually watch the documentary. It's called Too Big to Fail on Netflix.
It's very good.
It's a really great documentary, and it literally talks about why, if it was a small bank, there would have something like that would have already happened. You know, but because it's Wells Fargo, it's just a little slap on the wrist.
Oh, I hear you.
And move on.
Let's jump into some events. We talked enough about Wells Fargo. If you do business with them, just be careful. Make sure you're not getting scammed, because there's a good chance that you either have a fake account with Wells Fargo. I didn't even know it. I have an account with Wells Fargo.
I may have an account.
And it's overdrafted. God damn it, Wells Fargo. That's not even my account. What
Wells
the hell?
Fargo is definitely not the only bank to do that. Many banks do that, unfortunately. I know from coming from the banking industry, and that's why the hell I got out, because they try to get you to force products into people who do not need them, just so they can get those overdraft fees. People can collect those fines.
That's how they make that money.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Let's talk about some of the really amazing events, a lot of which are happening literally today.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over 2 events for today. I'm going to go over our team building, and then Jabron's got a really cool event going on at the Houston Zoo, I guess in this upcoming month. So for today, we have 2 events that are really great. So Capital Concepts is hosting their real estate networking mixer that they do on a monthly basis, and that's today at Chapman and Kirby from 5:30 to 8:30. It's always a great event at a great venue and centrally located. And then another new event coming onto the scene hosted by Propelio is actually the Houston Real Estate Investor Meetup. That's also today, and it's going to be at the Lions Heart Event Center, also from 5:30 to 8:30. So you got a decision to make. Which event shall I attend today?
Or if you want to be a real badass, you can go to both of them.
That's
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Networking like a badass right there.
All right, and then Team WPR has actually got a really cool event coming up on May 7th, where instead of doing our Team WPR Summit, we're actually going to be doing a team building event downtown Houston. Jabron and Elizabeth, they're putting together basically an amazing race type of scavenger hunt for us, and then we're going to end up at Christian's Tailgate downtown location to enjoy some brews, some burgers, and
well, now I got to pick a new location. David just gave away the last hint.
Come
on
on,
scavenger
David
hunt.
just
Damn
gave
it,
away
David.
No, is anyone watching? Hold on, let me see if
No one's
Erase
watching
that.
anyway. Go back there and cut that out real
Yeah,
quick.
we only got one agent on. It's all good.
All right,
Mighty
very
wins.
cool.
Mighty wins immediately.
Hey, so I want to bring up a couple of other really important events for our agents who are listening. So this Thursday, we're going to be doing something called How to Automate the Listing and Buying Process with our in-house CRM.
Yes.
That's really, really important for you guys that are out there who are thinking that all of this is difficult or there's not enough time to do everything. You can literally automate your listings. You can automate your buyer process. Everything can be done for you, including sending out text messages to your clients, everything. Yeah. That's going to be discussed this Thursday here at the office in the Southwest office at 11 a.m. It's going to be a mastermind type session between the leaders of the organization and then any agents that want to learn more about how you can do that. And then, of course, at the end of this month, we always hang out and go ride the Critical Mass bike ride.
Gonna be
so
fun.
Everyone's welcome to come out. That's actually this Friday.
We're already at the end of the month.
Oh man, at the end of this, I'm saying at the end of this month, like it's
yeah, I know.
Like
I'm like
2
in
weeks
3
from now.
days.
In 3 days, we're gonna go out and ride Critical Mass. So you guys are all welcome to come hang out with us. All of our agents are invited, and a lot of them do come out and we just ride bikes. I think it's like a 15 to 20 mile ride throughout the city of Houston. It's really an amazing experience, and everyone's welcome to join
And
us.
last but not least, for those of you who've ever wanted to have a beer with a bear or drank a glass of wine with a lion, your
you couldn't think of a
chances
W
coming
animal?
up. I know, I'm like
Wine
glass
with
of
a walrus.
wine with a walrus.
There you go.
You'll want to head over to the Houston Zoo on May 17th, June 21st, and July 19th. They'll be doing a silent disco, one of those where you wear the headphones and everyone's dancing,
That
but
looks
listen to
super
different
cool.
music. Sip and See, where you'll have wine around the reflection pool. And then Going Country, where you'll be going country. They'll have line dancing, a mechanical bull. It sounds freaking awesome. That's May 17th, June 21st, and July 19th. Check it out. I posted the link in the comments.
My Nare familia is going to kill me if I don't tell everyone about Segundo de Mayo.
It was a great party
That's
last year.
Segundo de Mayo. Last year it was amazing. Make sure that you guys check out NAREP Houston on Facebook for more information on that. That's it. We're out of time. We can't tell you any more about any more upcoming events. Thank you guys for joining us on today's show. I'm excited to be back. I can't wait to see you on the next show. Make sure you share this with all your friends, your family, anyone in the real estate industry. Keep up your ruckus, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Production.